Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Geiser. I'm here with Amy Health, Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few quick health and wellness stories to review today. Today I really want to talk about personal power and the ability to use our choice in life to affect how our health, what our health outcomes are. The stories I want to cover today, first of all, a huge biochem study released in the journal Nature. It was an epidemiological study, but they were also looking at stem cell science, and they're looking at the causes of cancer, taking lifestyle activities over the course of many years with thousands of people, and looking at what is the cause of cancer, what can we do to prevent, and is it all just bad luck? I guess is the question they were posing.
Bad luck and genetics.
Exactly. Right? Being in the same...
Victim.
The victim side of things. And what they found was, based on their interpretation of all the research they've seen, and this is the journal Nature, right? This is one of our biggest journals. This is intensely peer-reviewed documentation here. They found that cancer was only caused by genetics somewhere between 10 and 30% of the time, basically stating that somewhere between 70 and 90% of the time cancer is caused by certain aspects of our lifestyle, certain things we're doing in our life.
Which is great news.
It's great news. It really is. I mean, this bad luck hypothesis is not very empowering.
No, it puts us all in this state where we're just walking around waiting for we're already victims because we already know our family's history and we've already been through with our loved ones and with friends and family, and then we're all just waiting around with little bullets on us.
Yeah, just in fear.
And it permeates, and especially when it comes to things like genetics and friends and family environment, like community.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I find it incredibly empowering because...
And it is empowering. And that's how it has to be looked at.
Now, most of these numbers, I mean, you can probably infer from this right away that it's... The largest cause of cancer is obviously cigarette smoking, which is a lifestyle choice.
It's a choice.
So, over the course of the last 50 years, we've had these numbers pushed one way towards lifestyle because of... We know the negative impacts of smoking are so huge. It's definitive. Yes.
So now we're saying let's broaden that.
Yeah, and now since last Christmas, of course, remember red meat, processed meats, alcohol. These things are being added to the list in the same capacity of cigarette smoking.
So what we eat, what we drink, our environment that we surround ourselves in, things we put on our body, around our body, like our household cleaners, or what we laundry soap.
We have to keep all carcinogens in top of mind. Phthalates, pollution. We know these things cause cancer, especially when you expose cells to them in test tubes. But physiology, obviously, is a little different. Our immune systems should take over, but sometimes they don't.
And then marry that with, I think... your personal environment, so how your stress levels, what you focus on a daily basis. Personally, I have a deep, I don't know what you'd call it, but I really believe that the next phase after everyone's enlightened about what we consume and what we put on our body directly affects our health, I think the next realm is going to be what we think, and our anxiety levels and our stress levels and what we expect.
Oh, I completely agree. After what's come out this year, I think it's going to take 5 to 10 more years for people to say, okay, diet is really important in the prevention of cancer.
And we're trying to speed that along.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you do have a cancer, We're not saying, now you're to blame.
No,
no one's ever to blame for ever becoming sick. That's never how you look at these studies. How you look at it is from an empowering way that there is change, there is possibility for, you can improve your own health from where you are, but also you can be a guiding light, you can be a messenger, an educator, a teacher for your friends, for your family, for your community, for people with cancer.
Definitely.
Take away the once we become less victims and more empowered, that's where the juice is. That's where the good stuff is. That's where change happens. So it's working with what we know.
Exactly.
So again, there's no shaming and ever, I never want to come across like we're saying.
No, especially when most governmental body food guys are saying to eat meat every day. Still, so we've got health officials saying, we need to consume a certain amount of meat and a certain amount of high-fat dairy and all this stuff. When
all of that, it's so layered, and now we know the correlation between parabens and breast cancer, and yet you go down to the drugstore to try to get a body wash or a shampoo or your deodorant, and all those things are loaded with
endocrine disruptors. It's sad, and it's nobody's personal fault. These are things that are being put in front of us, and oftentimes they're being called natural.
Exactly. So this is about empowering, learning, making those changes, and then all of us becoming educators. Mm-hmm. All of us have to go out and tell the truth about this stuff.
Yeah,
it's every one of our responsibilities.
The other day I was doing some research on a shampoo that's considered to be a natural shampoo.
It has a very natural ingredient that's been touted, argan oil.
Yeah, and if you look through some of the reports online and actually do some of the research on certain chemicals, fragrances, colors that are in this bottle of so-called natural shampoo.
They take the actual natural oil and they do put it in this crap formula.
Yes, you do. But it was way down the list.
Yeah,
but it's called argan oil shampoo.
Right.
Anyhow, so I was looking through some of the reports from some chemists about what these fragrances do. And one of the things that's added has been shown to cause dermatitis of the scalp and has been associated with hair loss.
Resulting in hair loss.
And some of the adults who have gone through it haven't grown their hair back.
Yeah.
So in certain countries, irreversible hair loss.
Yeah.
So in some countries, this one ingredient has been banned in 2010, and it's still available here in Canada.
And it's touted as this natural ingredient in this shampoo, so you kind of they trick you by making it sound like the shampoo's natural. It's not. It would never be on a natural shelf or a non-GMO shelf. It has whatever. But you guys all know the brand. It's the most popular argan oil brand. Yeah. And it's been directly linked to hair loss.
Yeah.
Aside from all the other things that are in there that have been correlated to negative studies. And again, it's one of those things that you get tricked into. I remember when I overdid my hair one summer and it got really, really light, and from salt water and all that stuff, I went and got the deep conditioner because I was like, I need something more. I tricked myself that natural just isn't good enough. Mm-hmm. It's just so dumb.
Yeah, right. That was really frustrating for me. Yeah.
And then when I used it, I got stuffed up right away because I hadn't been around
chemicals.
Yeah, and it was a waste of money. I had to get rid of it. I couldn't use it.
Yeah, and this isn't meant to be discouraging. My gosh.
It's
meant to be empowering. Anytime you look at the back of a bottle and you see something yellow 11 or red 17, or if you see some of these names that...
Any of those names at the top, if you're looking for, say, a deep conditioner, the first thing should be a fat you recognize, shea butter, or, it should be a lipid that's just very clear. There shouldn't be any... the most confusing names should be if they use the real names of the essential oils, but then they always put them in brackets.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, completely
it's just so...
Yeah, and now on most natural brands, especially in our province here, we see a lot of them labeled as sulfate-free or paraben-free or whatever. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of that transparency come forward.
And there's so many great options now. We're living in such a time of plenty. We're so spoiled. In the same way that we've been tricked and suppressed and all these types of things, the other side has really risen up to the occasion. There are great options. Like, I went through a whole looking for the best natural deodorant.
Yeah, that was a real journey.
And the first time I tried to do this, back when I was younger, when I first read about this, there was like 3 options.
No.
And they all kind of sucked.
Yeah, they didn't do much.
Now, there were so many options. By the time I got to the 3rd one because I really tested them out through working out and time and detoxification, I'm in love with it.
Yeah. And I found one too.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed. And I was using a deodorant that had aluminum in it forever.
Yeah.
First ingredient.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my God.
That's another thing for women right away. If you have concerns about breast cancer, it just blows my mind. We need to right away those pores right underneath your armpits that are linked to the lymph nodes that are linked to your breast tissue. Right away, natural deodorant, natural shampoo, natural body wash, natural laundry soap.
What's mine called? Doms?
Yours is Dom's, and mine is the one I can never say. I think it's German.
Waliba? Or Walida?
Walida.
Is that the one?
I think so, yeah.
The W-E-L?
Citrus. It's a citrus spray.
Yeah, Walida citrus spray, and I'm using the Doms. It's like a cream that you apply with your fingers. It's really weird. Yeah. But it works like a charm. And I sweat a lot.
No, I couldn't use that one.
What happened when you used that one?
It just irritated me.
Okay.
But I'm also in a weird place because I was developing milk.
That's true.
And all that stuff.
That's true.
So I was hypersensitive. But this one I have, the Walida, I love it. And it smells like a margarita because it has alcohol and essential oil, and that's basically it.
Wow, cool.
So I love it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This discussion, I mean, we're talking cancer, but in the same category, you've got cardiovascular disease, which we've known for a long time is associated with poor diet.
Yeah.
There are genetic factors that can predispose certain people to having high cholesterol, but that doesn't mean they're actually going to have more strokes or cardiovascular events. We're finding that out more now, that there's more to look for than just high levels of LDL cholesterol. Anyhow, that's a different conversation. The other aspect of this conversation that needs to be brought up is fear of Alzheimer's, fear of dementia. Okay, because cancer and cardiovascular, sure, those are the top 2 killers, but Alzheimer's is scary.
It's very scary and it's very sad.
Yeah, and if you have it in your family or you've been around people who have gone through it,
it's
who are dealing right now, it's very heartbreaking. And obviously I see a lot in my practice, and we do some good work in this area. But I really want to talk about a study that came out this morning that I caught online, and I really think needs to be talked about because it's from the Journal of American College of Nutrition, and they're looking at, again, epidemiological data, trying to find some correlation between diet and Alzheimer's dementia. What they were looking at is the Japanese population. They were about 20 to 25 years behind on picking up the Western diet principles. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're full-blown Western diet in many areas, like let's say cities or Japanese people who have moved to North America. It's easy to track, right? Because the diet was so different before. In those 20 years, they've gone from a 1% rate of Alzheimer's disease to an 8% rate of Alzheimer's disease. Now, again, we're talking correlation here, not necessarily causation, but it's a big red flag for me when the only changes you see are more red fat or more red meat consumption, more sweets, and more high-fat dairy products.
Yep.
Like, you take a diet and you just take those 3 things and just increase them, and all of a sudden it's gone from 1% to 8% Alzheimer's disease. Yep. Which we know now is related to the immune system.
I mean, what I find so frustrating is that there's still any amount of resistance to what we're shoving into our bodies affects our bodies. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, there is a bit of resistance.
There's still resistance. I mean, probably not a high number of people that listen to us.
Probably not.
I think we're all probably on the same page.
We don't have to preach that.
It's our own community, but like, it's shocking to me.
Yeah.
And just the information that you've shared with me really has opened my eyes about the correlation between the immune system and Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've talked much about that before.
A little bit back at the start of the year, but not too much. As you probably know, Alzheimer's is development of certain plaque in the brain, and the immune system has a poor time clearing it. There's some reports that maybe it's considered type 3 diabetes, high sugar, causing oxidative damage, development of plaque, and then poor clearance. But why is the immune system not functioning as well as it should be, is the question that we've all been talking about, right? Now we're thinking, okay, like, let's say those are both accepted. High sugar in the bloodstream or just poor immune function in the brain. Why? Why is that happening? Why? So we're looking at diet.
Right.
First and foremost. In the exact same study, they showed there was a reduced risk for those people who ate mostly fruits, vegetables, grains, low-fat dairy, legumes, and fish.
Yep.
Reduced risk. Compared with, I got to repeat it, high red meat, high-fat dairy, and sweets.
Yep.
1% to 8%, that's a huge jump.
Huge.
Because if you're looking at 8%, I mean, that's almost 1 in 10. Compared with 1 in 100 before.
Yeah.
Anyhow, something to keep in mind, we've been talking about cardiovascular disease and diet for a long time. Now we're talking about, in the last few months, obesity being related with 11 different cancers. And obesity obviously caused by lifestyle issues. Now, let's add the brain into the mix. Obviously, we know that brain function is highly dependent on nutrient absorption. And keeping stress low and having a solid immune system. Okay, Alzheimer's disease and diet.
So, instead of listening to this and, well, taking on the opinion that we're all screwed and we might as well just crawl in the corner and cry, let's become warriors of the truth. And let's go out and let's make changes and empower our own selves and our own health, and then help everyone else that we love in our families and become truth tellers and health warriors, and let's turn this ship around. That's how I feel. I feel like we're all on the Titanic and we all see the iceberg and we all have the information at our fingertips, and instead of just working together and turning the ship around, there's a majority of people like, well, we still don't know. Yes, we do know. We know.
Let's go grab a burger.
Yeah. You know what? It's easier. Ice cream.
Yeah.
No. Let's do this. Like, let's be the smart generation. Let's make some changes.
It's not a tough message either. If I read this again. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, fish, and low-fat dairy. Which, of course, I would leave off. But
we leave the dairy off for other reasons. But
still, my gosh, it's not a difficult message.
No, and it's an amazing way to live that only breeds good.
And the more you look at it, the more you think, okay, it's Mediterranean diet, just eating like what feels most natural.
It's how we live. It's the basis of every one of our programs.
But also all the conventional holistic nutrition advice. Eat the perimeter of the grocery store.
Veggies first.
Yeah, consume tons and tons of fruits and veggies. Like try to reach that daily serving limit. 8 to 12 servings. Like try to get there.
Don't try, just do.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I love it. Is that Yoda?
Yeah, I try her. Yeah. He says.
I love it. Anyways, this is meant to be empowering, right? It's meant to.
Oh, it is.
Promote personal power here, because these changes.
The only time we're a victim is when we have no choice.
That's right.
And in this day and age, we are so spoiled with choice. I don't care what the boundary is. You can figure it out. Yeah. There's a way to figure it out. We're so spoiled.
It's true. Life is easy. We've been watching a lot of documentaries lately about difficult living situations.
Yeah, you want to start to feel bad for yourself that health is expensive or life is hard or your schedule is difficult. On Netflix right now, there's a documentary on people that live in deserts. Watch that and then complain about your first world problems.
That's right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
All of us can do it.
It's true.
That's
Healthy Rebel Radio for today. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher Radio. If you'd like to have our episodes to your inbox once per week, sign up to our newsletter at DamiHealth.com. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamieHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamieHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.